Something ancient is being revealed here, and most people will read right past it without realizing they're looking at instructions for immortality. I was sitting with these teachings from the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and what stood out immediately is that this is not a book about death. It's a manual for consciousness after death, and even more than that, it's a guide for how to live in alignment so that your soul is prepared to move freely beyond this world. There's a passage that describes a lake of fire, at each corner of which is seated a dog-headed ape. Now, if you read this literally, it sounds symbolic or even mythical. But when you look deeper, this is describing thresholds of transformation. Fire, in ancient traditions, is not just destruction, it is purification. It is the element that burns away what is false, so only essence remains. And those guardians at each corner, they are not random. They represent forces that test consciousness. You don't pass through by force, you pass through by alignment. Then it shifts into a ritual description of Osiris Ani, and this is where it becomes very precise. He is described as being adorned in fine garments, wearing white sandals, anointed with sacred oils, and surrounded by offerings, incense, herbs, flowers, bread, ale. This isn't just decoration. This is energetic preparation. Every detail matters. The body, the scent, the environment, all of it is calibrated to a specific frequency. What's being shown here is that the soul doesn't move freely just because it exists. It moves freely because it is in harmony. The ancients understood that the physical, the energetic, and the spiritual are not separate, they are layers of the same system. And then there's something even deeper. It says that if these words are written and buried in a place untouched, the individual will rise again, and their children will flourish continuously. This is not just about one lifetime. This is about lineage, about continuity of consciousness, about energy extending beyond the individual self. It even says he will dwell in favor among leaders, receive offerings, and move freely through the gates of the afterlife, not being turned away at any door. That line is important. He shall not be thrust from any door in Amentet. That means access. That means permission. That means the soul has reached a state where nothing blocks it anymore. Now when we move to the next section, it becomes even more direct. There's a declaration. Thou risest, O still heart. I have brought thee a tet of gold. The tet or the jet is a symbol of stability, of the spine, of divine alignment. Gold represents incorruptibility. So what is being offered here is not material, it is a stabilized, awakened state of being. Then it speaks of a buckle of carnelian connected to the blood of Isis. Carnelian is associated with vitality, life force, protection. And it says the power of Isis becomes a protection, crushing what one abhors. This is not passive spirituality. This is active energetic defense. It's the understanding that once aligned, your energy itself becomes protective. Then there's the heart. And this part is powerful. It says, I am the Bennu, the soul of Ra. The Bennu is the ancient Egyptian phoenix, the force of rebirth, of rising again. So this is the soul declaring itself not as separate, but as an extension of divine source, acting according to the will of the Ka, the higher essence. This is where it all comes together. The soul that has done the work, the soul that has aligned itself, becomes sovereign. It acts not from ego, not from fear, but from divine will. And then finally, there's the headdress placed beneath the head, a protective force with the declaration, lift up thy head to the heavens, thy enemies have fallen, and they shall never rise again. This is not about external enemies. This is about inner fragmentation, fear, illusion, distortion. The enemies fall when the self is unified, when the soul remembers itself, when the mind, body, and spirit are no longer in conflict. And this is why these teachings matter, because they're not ancient in the way people think. They're not outdated. They're describing laws that are still operating right now. The idea that your energy determines your access, your movement, your experience, that's not symbolic. That's real. And when you begin to live with that awareness, everything changes. You start to understand why certain doors open, and why others don't. Why certain spaces feel aligned, and others feel heavy. Why your body reacts before your mind understands. because your system is always responding to truth. The ancients didn't ignore this. They studied it, they encoded it, and they left it for those who are ready to see it. So if this is resonating with you, if you feel like you're starting to see these patterns in your own life, this is exactly the work I guide people through. Understanding your energy, your patterns, your alignment, not just intellectually, but in a way that you can actually live it and apply it. If you're ready to go deeper into this, to understand your own energetic blueprint, and how to move through life with that level of awareness, you can book a one-to-one session with me, or join the Alchemical Garden. And if this activated something in you, comment "remember," so I know you're seeing it too, and follow for more teachings like this, because this is just the beginning of what was actually left for us to uncover.